Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, Worthy One and fully enlightened one. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'm thinking to talk about today, I'm thinking to talk about the meaning of life, the purpose of life. If I ask you, what's the meaning of life? There are no meaning. There are no meaning of life. Right? Chala? There are no meaning of life, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's profoundly meaningless.
Profoundly meaningless. You said right. Profoundly meaningless. What then, what people do? They are trying to find out the meaning of life. They spend whole life to find out meaning of it. And they die without having it. Isn't it? This world is not created for meaning. This universe wasn't created for meaning. This life, we born, we don't know. We live, we don't know. And we die, we don't know. Then what we do? And there's so many thinkers, religious leaders try to give a meaning to this life. So many religious leaders try to give a meaning to this life. And they said exactly what it is. You are created for purpose. And your meaning of life is to combine with the Creator. This universe created you by itself, and you live once, no more. That's all. And so many philosophers has explained the life and they tried to understand it, but nobody understood it. And in the beginning of this existence, whenever it happened, and we still come in with killing each other, hating each other, and with craving and attachment, enjoying, laughing, experiencing pleasure, happiness, and then we cry, lament, sorrow. Then modern science, and they try to find something for life. They built up so many things. They built up medicine, medical science. If you have any trouble of your brain or heart, you can easily get cured, right? Not easy. It's the brain and heart is the hardest one, but the medicine is created and they developed the system. They can scan, they can find out some problems. That's what they could do for make you comfortable. And they created wheels in the beginning. Then they created cars, vehicles, now rockets to make you comfortable, to give some meaning to life, to make it perfect, right? Then people want to have contact each other. And the long time they keep screaming to who is far, right? And do some, make the sound. We're using drums to give some messages. But now they created cell phones, like laptops now, we can see each other, you can learn through them. And they try to make something, make life comfortable. Right, Brandon? So, but the problem is still here, right? You can move to moon, you can move to anywhere else in this world, in the universe, but the problem is still here, right? What Buddha said about it? What Buddhism think about this? The meaning, purpose. There are no meaning of life. It's just suffering. Dukkha, according to Buddhism, it is all about dukkha. Right?
Is there an escape from suffering?
Buddhism? Yeah.
So is that possibly a meaning?
That's versus Buddhism, the focus about escape from suffering.
So could that be a meaning?
I think the meaning of life, Buddha said, it's kind of meaningless and it's only suffering, dukkha. I think the purpose of life is a freedom, liberation.
Yeah, like one of the, I guess the text that really hold close. It's I believe it's the Diamond Sutra about leading others towards liberation and then not looking at them as if they've been liberated. You know, I do feel some meaning in that, but I do agree that we're going to suffer and break down for sure in this life.
Yeah.
Meaning is something usually that if you do, you become happy, right? I mean, what is meaning?
Meaning of what?
I mean, isn't a meaning indicate that if there's something you can do to become happy, and that would be a meaning, right?
Yeah.
In other words, if there's a meaning to me walking from here down the street, it would be because there's something at the end of the street that's going to make me happy. So I walk down the street.
Right.
So a meaning in life would be something that I could do that could make me happy. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is a kind of meaning. That's what we are chasing to have it.
So you don't think there's anything like that?
It's kind of meaning, yeah. It's just there are different type of pleasures and happiness. Then we go in for it, and we have it, we enjoy it, we lose it. Then
But
we.
I mean, in Buddhism.
Buddhism, yeah, that's what.
Is there a meaning?
Buddhism, as I said, that Buddhism doesn't talk about the meaning of life. It's that Buddhism says there are no meaning of life. That means only exists the suffering.
But there's an end to suffering.
End of suffering, yeah. That's the purpose of freedom, yeah.
So couldn't that be a meaning?
Yeah, that could be a meaning, yeah. Yeah, that could be meaning. In the ancient time, then I think the religious things is try to give a solution for this and to meaning to it, to life, right? The religious, I think, try to give a meaning to life. And they also suggest so many things. In the Buddha's time, even before the Buddha's time, it was so many practitioners to find it. Then Buddha, before his Buddha would call Siddhartha. So that Siddhartha realized profoundly the life is kind of stress. Kind of stress. So, because he realized even being a king, not free from suffering, even being a king. And he's so birth, death, aging, illness, lament, crying. So then he thought to find out solution to this problem. Then he renounced. He renounced and he went to teachers to find out. Then he went to a teachers and he learned from them a deep meditation, a state of peace, a deep state of peace, happiness. That's called samadhi, right? That's called samadhi. The most important thing, this whole world is try to find happiness, enjoying, satisfying sensual pleasures, right? Sensual pleasures. That's what we try to find happiness, satisfying a pleasure. Satisfying eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, with form, sounds, odors, taste, and tangibles, tactiles. That's the most of the world is do. Then some people in the ancient time understood that's kind of stress. That's very troublesome. So what they thought, just stay away from the pleasures. Just stay away from the pleasures. Just stop chasing the pleasures. And they decided to renounce. They were alone in the forest, under the trees, in the caves. And they tried to find out something, the happiness within themselves, instead chasing outer world. That's what Siddhartha also did, the same thing. And those days, those people called Sramana. Sramana. I think even that time was the kind of awakening moment in this world. Actually, it's kind of a very special period of this earth. And Buddha himself, then the Jaina Mahavira, and he's also Sramana. And then the Zarathustra in Persia those days. Nowadays in Iran, it's also called Zoroaster. And then the in the same era in China, Tao. It also means way, right? Way. Confucius, right? Confucius. In Greece, Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. Great thinkers try to explain the life and to understand it. Even before Buddha and the 1,000 years ago, in the Rig Veda, this 1,500 years before Buddha, and even before in this world, is people keep thinking and searching something special. So, the Siddhartha, he born to a royal family. He grew up as a prince with happiness and with very luxurious life. So like a Jaina Mahavira. So, but those great thinkers understood there is something we're missing. We're chasing happiness, we're chasing pleasure, we're chasing enjoy or freedom, but we end up the life a kind of unsatisfactory. So they start to meditate, be alone, stay away from the attachment. They understood thirst for pleasure, thirst for pleasure. What is the pleasure actually? The pleasure we experience is kind of quenching the thirst, right? Like quenching the thirst. Is that right? Quenching quenching the thirst. Right, Junior? Pleasure? No?
Quenching the thirst.
like quenching the thirst. The pleasure is kind of wants, right? Wants to be happy, wants to be satisfied, wants to be enjoyed, right? It's kind of thirst. So then we go for it. So instead, seeing pleasure through sense basis, and Buddha and then the ancient thinkers, and they renounced. They be alone and they develop concentration, mindfulness, samadhi. Mind is run to form, run to sounds, run to odors, run to taste, run to touches. Mind runs to attachment, mind run to hate. Instead, that unrest life, stressful mind, and they be alone. They sat down somewhere and meditated, focused, and developed concentration. And they stop their running mind. They relaxed that restless mind, and they focus, and that's called samadhi, right? Samadhi. That's another type of happiness. Samadhi is another type of happiness. What's in samadhi have? Joy, happiness. In the samadhi have joy and happiness, right? Most important thing, no stress, no heavy burdens, no dangers actually. That happiness of samadhi, no dangers. What is the happiness we enjoy in our daily life? We always experience that happiness with danger. It could be loose, then we could be upset. But in the samadhi, no danger. There's nothing to lose. You only feel samadhi. If you lose samadhi, that's okay. Nothing to worry. Maybe it's not giving a stress much like the people in this world enjoying the pleasure and happiness, following, chasing them. Because in the samadhi, they cut off actually. Suppression, kama chanda. What is kama chanda? 5 hindrances. They are reducing them. Desire for sensual pleasure. Right? Desire for sensual pleasure. They suppressed it. Right? What's you sage, right?
Yeah.
The sage. If we have desire of something, then we need it. Until we have it, we have a stress. When we're hungry, we want to eat something. Until we eat, we feel it. Whatever is happiness we want experience, whatever pleasure we want experience, it's like a thirst. We want it. We chase for it. We struggle to have it. Until have it, we get attached to it. Then try to hold it. But everything is impermanent. Rising and falling, we lose it, we upset. Then we want to eat it back. But in the samadhi, and they stop that wants. They not chase for pleasure, sensual pleasure. They stop the desire for sensual pleasure. Then mind is kind of calm, relaxed, right? That's how they try to find out happiness. They try to find a kind of meaning to life, kind of meaningful living. And then they not only kama chanda, desire for sensual pleasure, even the hate, vyapada, hate, they suppressed. Usually in our day-to-day life, we hate so much. We hate. We get angry. We become upset. We dislike so badly. Even for the people. Look at this world. Russians doesn't like to Ukrainians. Ukrainians don't like to Russians. Israelis don't like to Gaza, the people in Gaza. You see, in this entire world is conflict, full of conflict. Right? America love to China, China love to America. India love to China, China love to India. No?
India doesn't like China.
You mean that America love to China?
I don't know.
It's a conflict. It's a stress. Even this world keep growing, developing so much technology, machines, right? Even growing up. But this conflict, even growing, this situation happened in the Buddha's time. They fight each other. Country killed each other. They fought each other. The great destruction of killing, mass of killing. Even the Jesus time, Muhammad time, right? The great deity Indian people believe Rama. He fought with Ravana, a king in Sri Lanka, the god. It's a great conflict. Even today they keep burning Ravana. That's the culture actually. Now it is culture, now hate. I don't think it's hate, it is culture. And it started with hate, but still keep doing, I don't know, doing it with hate or what. But it's culture. But it's happening. Right? The people killed Jesus. And they fought. They had those days. The Moses, they fought with people. This entire world, in this history, is conflict. Now we have a great war. We had a first war, second world wars. Right? We cannot say there are no third world war. We can't say that. Right? It's more than possible, ever. They have weapons already. So, but still we keep fighting and hating each other. The world is conflict with this sensual pleasures. Buddha didn't. Buddha saw that, and all the sramanas saw that. All religious, spiritual leaders saw that, and they try to find the solution for this, to give a meaning to life. And they explore religious ideas. Among those ideas, samadhi is the one of solution. They renounced, be alone in the forest, and they meditate, develop concentration, samadhi, and they experience joy and happiness. Very still mind, calm mind, peaceful, no hate, no desire for sense of pleasures, no laziness, and no doubt, and no restlessness, right? No restlessness. And they enjoy it, life, peaceful. And then the Siddhartha learn it and enjoy it. Then what happened? But the Siddhartha thought, this is not the permanent happiness or permanent meaning, permanent pleasure or happiness. And he saw it is impermanent. And if he went to those days, there was the highest spiritual leaders. They moved from the sensual realm to fine material realm. That's called Rupavachara Loka. Rupavachara Jhana. Rupavachara Jhana. Samadhi. Fine materials Samadhi. Material Samadhi. Rupavachara Jhana. What that means? And they thought the maintaining maintaining this sensual pleasures is stress. Chasing sensual pleasures is stress. And they be alone and they meditated. They try to stay away from the pleasures, desires, cravings, hate, and develop mindfulness, stillness, and they enjoy it. They achieve the Rupavachara Jhana, the world, another world. This is another realm. These sensual realms, this world we experience, one world, one realm. And they found another realm, another dimension of this existence, another dimension of this experience. That dimension is called Rupavachara Loka. In Buddhism, explaining as it is 16 types. That means no attached to this body or sensual pleasures. And they only enjoy the calm and peacefulness of the mind, stillness of the mind. That's called Samadhi Jhana, and another realm. Fine material realm, Rupavachara Loka. Rupavachara Loka, Rupavachara Samadhi, another dimension. And other spiritual leaders have gone beyond that, even far. What's that called? Immaterial dimension, Arupavachara Loka. Arupavachara Loka. Immaterial dimension. They thought even this body is fine, subtle, but even this body is rising and falling, and it's kind of burden. And they went beyond that happiness of fine material dimension, and they went beyond of it, called Arupavachara Samadhi. Arupavachara Samadhi, immaterial samadhis. They completely freed from the attachment to the body Not completely, kind of, in that samadhi, no attachment to the body, then they born without body. Only mind exists. Only mind exists. That called arupavachara dimension, immaterial dimension. Another world, another world. This is the sensual world, kamavachara world, kamavachara realm. Sensual pleasure realm, right? We are in sensual pleasure realm. We are in sensual pleasure realm. That's what the meaning of the name, kama vachara. Kama means desire. Kama means desire. Vachara means keep traveling, keep journey, keep going. Kama vachara. We keep going. In Buddhism, explaining it is with details with the lower realms and heavenly realms and human realms. In the Kama Avachara. And meditators, because the people who understood the stress of this Kama Avachara realm and they stay away from the desire for the sense of pleasure and they develop mind, stillness and achieve samadhi. And that called fine material realm, and then even they went to beyond of it, from the material dimension to immaterial dimension. That's called arupavachara samadhi. Only name exists. And Siddhartha achieved it, but he understood even this is not final solution of freedom. Even this is impermanent, is subject to change. Then he left them all and he tried to find out by himself, but he found a path. And he started to do many things. He started to do self-mortification. He tortured himself. He tortured himself very badly, very deeply. Because those days people believed they can be awakened, freedom, by torturing themselves and get rid of all karma. And then Siddhartha did it very, very, very seriously. But he couldn't achieve it. Then he thought again, and Buddha mentioned it in the Pariyasana Sutta. Then he think. It came into his mind in his very young age. He was meditating. Then it's give him to, I should practice it. And then middle path. No pleasure, no pain. So then he started to practice middle path. Then he meditated. Then he understanding rising and falling. Everything is rising and falling. Rising and falling, impermanent and temporary. Right? Everything is impermanent and temporary. Or those deep meditated samadhi, they still attached to that kind of permanent entity. They couldn't release mind from attachment to even to that perception. What's the final samadhi? Highest final samadhi called neva sanya, na sanya. Neither perception, no non-perception. What's that mean? That's the highest samadhi. No, neither perception, no non-perception. No cognitions. And they thought this is the final. And then they're born in the kind of Brahma realms, and that's permanent entity, because they couldn't giving up attached to perception. They detach from the pleasure, sense of pleasures in the beginning. They detach from the sense of pleasure and freed. They enjoy freedom, and they focus mindfulness. Then they achieve to in a fine material dimension, rupavachara experience, kind of happiness, pleasure, highest happiness. Even went beyond that form to inform, material to immaterial. Several levels of them. The final one called Neva Sanya, Nasanya, neither perception nor non-perception. That means the perception exists, none exists, something like that, right? That's what they can go. Then the Siddhartha Gautama thought even this samadhi, absorption, is impermanent and subject to disappear, temporary. Then he developed insight, and he understand everything is rising and falling, impermanent. Even perception, rising and falling, and conditioned. It is conditioned. Perception is conditioned. Consciousness conditioned. Rising and falling. Not the body world, this entire world is conditioned. Rising and falling, conditioned. That's called paticca samuppada. Then he freed from attached to self. He freed from attached to Atma, soul. And he freed from it. And he attained to enlightenment. That's what he found. So, according to Buddhism, there are no meaning to life. Whoever try to find out or give solution to it, still we have something, we are in danger, still is something, something. We thirst for something, right? We thirst for something. Who understood this stress, stay away from the sensual pleasures, from the Kamavachara realm to Rupavachara realm, from the Rupavachara realm to Arupavachara realm, they moved. Finally, Siddhartha Gautama found the way of freedom. So detachment, end of craving, cut off craving. So he freed, liberated. So this is what he said, the life is suffering. That suffering arises because of craving attachment. The cessation of craving is the peace. To achieve it is the three practices: morality, concentration, and wisdom. So that's what he said. Okay, so before we end up this session, do you have any questions?
Bante,
Yeah.
I suppose I have a question. When we take pleasure in finding peace during our times of meditation and mindfulness, is that different because we're not chasing something, or can that become the same thing once we chase that?
In the meditation, I think we're not chasing, we're just observing.
And when we find pleasure in that, that's not saying the meaning, but kind of the point of it, I guess, right? Yes? No?
What's that mean? What do you mean?
So since we're not chasing the pleasure of like that peace and actual tranquility, and then we just find it while we're doing it, that's not like a sensual pleasure chase?
Yes. So it's not chasing a sense of pleasure. So we meditate, and I think we stop the chasing. They stop the wants of the pleasure. That's what the in that the meaning in that meditation, in that level, right?
Thank you. I think so. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it actually brings some like pure happiness, which is strange and you kind of want to recreate at times.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is pure, and it is kind of stable, and it's peaceful. Because
it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is peaceful, it is calm, because it is away from that, away from stress, away from restlessness, away from doubt and the fear, whatever we experience. So that's tranquility, and they enjoy it. No.
So, excuse me, so kind of like the intention to feel that peace and happiness and that comes from meditation is different than, the like unsettled, like chasing. You can't chase this happiness, yeah, but the intention of reaching this happiness is not chasing.
This is kind of chasing too, but it is not like chasing to the sense of pleasure that's very gross and stress and troublesome and danger. But chasing to this happiness through concentration, samadhi, it is the samadhi arising actually when we reduce that wants, strong desires. It's kind of it's kind of stillness, awareness, observing, understanding, and calming and relaxing.
Right. So to intentionally sit and meditate is not the same as chasing at all. It's the opposite.
Opposite, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Even our day-to-day life, we can enjoy happiness, peace, whatever we enjoy right now, sensual pleasures. We can enjoy sensual pleasures. We can enjoy this life, this world, without being strong attached to those things. Strong attachment brings strong stress. So we enjoy it, understanding the nature of it, without strong attachment. Then we can live happily and peacefully, much better than who has strong hate, strong cravings and attachments. And then the meditative happiness is kind of deep and profound and going to a subtle happiness and freedom. Okay, that's enough for today, and thank you for joining. Let's share the merits with the departed ones, with ghosts, with deities, with all sentient beings. May they all share these merits and have happy good destinations. Blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha be with you, and all these good merits, and keep you happy, healthy and safe. And these all good merits leads us to that freedom, to liberation, to ultimate happiness. Akasattha ca bummattha deva naga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva cirang rakkantu sasanam cirang rakkantu desanam cirang rakkantu mang parang sabbhitiyo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu Mate bhavat vantarayo sukhi digayuko bhavatu sabba mangalang rakkantu sabba devata Sabba buddhanubhavena, sabba dhammanubhavena, sabba sanghanubhavena, sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yeah, thank you for joining. I'll see you next week.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Teruan Sarna Swami Namaste.
Teruvan Sarnai Namaste.